I had to make a video, and I've been dying to do this video. I just didn't know how to do it, and I wanted to thank the people who exposed um, this YouTuber called Kmusicandblackwomen. And if you're not familiar with this person, it's a black girl who makes these weird videos of how Korean pop artists love black women. But she does it in the most awkward way to where she just basically she'll rip like concert or promotional videos, and let's say, like, for instance, a black girl goes to one of the boy groups autograph signings or whatever, and he shakes her hand, and this girl will rip it and put like a crazy hashtag or caption saying Korean boys finally love black women, black women come to Korea, these Asian boys love you and they want you. And the page is really ridiculous. And the thing is about these, and I'll give Organic Kid his credit when he exposed her, and he touched on the real reason why a lot of these Korean boy groups play both sides of the fence, and it's just marketing. They know that black women, that there is a sizable black women, black fandom that likes Asian culture. And these are your nerdy girls, these are your bourgeoisie girls, the girls who don't fit into blackness all too well, your Negro bedwenches, as you will. And so they've collected, and this fandom of girls, and they played on the vulnerability of black women. And they know that black women are desperate for love, and they know that black men aren't giving it to them properly, and they just want somebody to love. And so these Korean artists like to play both sides of the fence, to where they'll be like, they'll come on a radio show host, talk show, and they'll be like, the host will ask, what is your preference in women? Like, what type of women would you like to date? And the Korean boys will be like, oh well, I like all women, but the type of women I like the most are dark-skinned women and like kinky hair. I like black women. And what's funny is that none of these so-called Korean pop artists, like, there's really new artists coming out like every month, every day maybe. And it's funny how we have all these groups, these boy groups who can expand to like 24 members. You have all these groups, and I'm yet to see an official engagement of a Korean artist with a black girl. And they have a fandom for it. And they could even do a long distance relationship. Might not work, but it always gets on my skin when I hear that shit. Like, they will give like these cheesy references on why they love black women, and they'll start sounding like Jason Mason or Colin, goofy ass. And they'll just be like, oh well, black women, they're so gorgeous, and they're so headstrong and whatever. Or they'll even be like very ambiguous, to where they'll be like, I just like dark-skinned women, and then they'll be like, that's it. And then like the girl, K Music and black women, she will rip that statement and then just kind of put it like, oh well, he means black girls. But we know that there's dark-skinned Indian girls, there's dark-skinned Muslim girls, Arab girls, whatever. And so it's not as concrete as just saying, oh well, he likes black girls. And one thing about this marketing group, this strategy, is that it's pure genius. I can't even knock it, to be honest, because they know that black women beauty is vulnerable, and Asian is like second closest to white, and so they know that black people have an identity crisis. And so, black people are shamed out of acting white or associating with whiteness. And this is why you have people who are kickbacking against patriarchy or male leadership, and that's Eurocentric. They'll say all that dumb shit. And so them mimicking Asianness or Asian culture is the second best thing. It's more acceptable because, they're still people of color. Or so they're supposed to be. So they can ride on that fence. They can ride off of Asian culture and not look too goofy about it. I've always, when I watch these K-pop reaction videos by black women, it seems very over dramatic, and I don't mind them liking the music, but I just don't get falling in love instantly. Like, this is a floodgate opening that Korean men are rushing to be with black women. Because in America, like, be honest with you, how many Korean boys are in public schools, where majority of women are black? Majority of the students are black. Yeah, well, women too, yeah. Where are they at? I've been to predominantly white institutions where there is a sizable Asian population and a sizable black female population, and I've really never seen Asian boys, come up to black women, in mass. I don't see it. Usually they'll just talk to white girls or their own. And, black women are too vulnerable. That's the sad thing about it, is that because they will hop onto anybody or any race of men that will just give them a glance. And most of these girls who like K-pop, they're not ugly. I've seen their videos, the little reaction videos. They're not ugly. But it's the identity crisis and the association of being a black woman. And so there's this perception that nobody loves you. And, rice is white. And so, these women, they hop onto Asianness. And but what I don't like about her channel is that you can't you refuse to acknowledge the racism within K-pop. You're talking about G-Dragon loves black women, but you don't talk about how G-Dragon wore blackface mocking Trayvon Martin. You didn't even talk about the recent she's just like Isadora Storm with her stupidness, where she prop up Asian men. And then I laughed when she talked about how Asian men are true men. I'm like, these faggot ass Asian boys wearing dresses and lipstick and all this gay shit, and you're telling me they're the most manly of men? Get the fuck out of here. That's why I laughed when Isadora Storm did her little montage of sexy Asian actors or sexy K-pop actors. All these women love, Googling over J Park. J Park, oh my God, so sexy, look at the abs. They love doing that goofy shit. That shit kills me every time. But anyways, with that other girl's channel, they don't talk about racism within the Asian community, in the Korean community especially. There was a K-pop or Korean comedy sketch to where this Korean woman makes fun of black people, and they see black people as these mud ducks, these muddy people who are tribal African savages with big lips, monkeyish features. And they love downing us for that. They love making fun of us. And this isn't the first instance. There's been many instances where these Koreans, especially Korean men, are using African culture as a gimmick. There was a KFC commercial to where uh where these Asian dudes it's like they're in an isolated island or whatever, and like they see there's these African savages, and I can't remember it, but it's on the Professor Black Truth channel, and you know they bring out fried chicken, and the savages are eating the chicken and all that shit. Um, and there's that skin skin cleansing commercial with the Asian woman. She's white as rice, and like her dirtiness is this charcoal color. And even with Asian people in general, we see I don't know if the ad was in China or in Korea, but the black man in the vending machine. Now Isadora Storm was clowning the shit out of that commercial and saying that, hey, Asian men, Asian women, and Asian men are not going to allow Asian women to date y'all. And I can give less than a fuck about that. My thing is that if they're clowning us, they're clowning you. So don't be surprised to where they already stretched the mark in making fun of black women. Look up the Bubble Sisters. They see black women as these fat gospel praying, Jesus Christ loving mammies wearing goofy 70s style afros and shit. So, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So, you need to, watch yourself when you're clowning Asian men, clowning when you're supporting coon shit of Asian men making fun of black men, because they're looking at you like pieces of shit too. And this is why, I'm yet to see this from the K-pop music women, whatever, and the Isadora Storm channel. Y'all don't talk about You never made a statement about these Asian Korean store owners knocking out black women. You were silent. And this has been going on for decades. It's not like it's oh well, I slept on the news, my bad. Like there was like 4 instances like last month. So I don't know how you slept through that or forgot. Black women are just too goofy for this shit. You're too goofy to be falling in love with these races of men who don't even associate with you. Ask the average black woman, girl, or whatever. Ask them how many Asian friends they have or Asian boys they have. None. 1 or 2 maybe. But, on average, they don't even have a good relationship with the Asians in their own communities. Or should I say, ciphering money from their own communities. Little Kim Jong-un ain't letting his, ain't playing with the black boys in the hood. Little Jet is just using the cash register just to take money from you. And that's the only exchange that you get out of these men. And, this is where the hood kind of makes more sense when dealing with race relations, because you understand where people are coming from, people's true intent. Because when you're in these integrated communities, you have, black people who fallen off, and, they're asleep on the wheel, and they'll be like, oh, well, we live in this post-racial society, and I'm not black, I'm a human being. And they'll fall in that dumb shit. And, they'll drink the Kool-Aid. But, this is where the hood gets its advantage, because we see it for what it is. We've known that Korean men never gave a shit about us. And these stores do nothing for us, and they disrespect us. And, yet we're so stupid in giving them our money And we've seen the problem that it is, to where we can't be in their stores too long, but they expect us to shop. And they're only there in our communities just to take the money. And if you take and pay attention to these corner stores next to the hood. And when the hood is gentrified, that Korean store ain't gonna be there anymore. They're gone because they don't have revenue like that. They're not living off of the Petersons from the burbs. The Petersons are not gonna come to. Well, Mr. Peterson isn't gonna come to the hood just to get his favorite bottle of liquor. He's not gonna get his Corona from there. Just saying. And these Korean boy groups, they've been pushing it with black people. And like Kid Organic said, they don't these Korean artists, they don't talk to black men. And you notice how you rarely see collaborations with these boy groups and black male artists. There's no collaboration. And granted, they may be friends with them on the low, but you notice there's not a lot of. This is something I've noticed. There's not a lot of kind of collaboration or of acceptance. You don't see. Like, for instance, the goofiness that Big Bang does, to where they try to act like blood gangs or something, that's not accepted. It's laughable. You show that to, a black kid, he's laughing his ass off. It's goofy. And, a lot of these Korean groups, they play both sides where, they want to be feminine and masculine. And, because they know that they can't really live off the gimmicks of being bad boys. That's why they switch off with their androgynous gay personas. And that's why they should, to be honest with you, they should just stick with that. Because they know that it looks goofy. And, they've been called out for cultural appropriation and all that. And, with these... And, Korea is actually known for, it's not like it's anything new. But, it's really known for its rigorous school system, and that it's so rigorous that they even have a high suicide rate. Because, going to school is so boring. It's not like it's not like watching anime, to where it's like, they're doing all this cool shit. It's like hours of literally going home for like 2 hours and then coming back, or you either can sleep at school or catch up on your studies and shit like that. So they're still nerds, so they can't, nobody takes them seriously when they're trying to be all hard and gangster. That's why when I look at these videos that these Korean artists do, even women do it too, it's like it's like it doesn't stick. Like, for instance, you're not gonna see like 50 Cent doing like R&B too much or at all. Like, you're not gonna see Trey Songz, and you're not gonna see 50 Cent trying to be like Trey Songz or switch it up like as if he's a pop artist or something. And and what's also funny is that I don't see Korean female artists catering for black men, which is kind of funny. And I'll give black men his credit on this one, because I don't think they fall for the bullshit. Because I've never seen like black men who like Korean pop like fall in love with Asian women. Like, there's no there's no Korean music, there's no K music and black men. You notice that? There's none of that. And I remember like last year I had to talk to I clowned or confronted this this ironically there's supposed to be a black female K-pop group, and they were talking about their experiences with dating Korean Asian men, and I was like, this is too goofy. This is goofy. Like y'all aren't getting any type of play from them. They're using you for sex. They're asking you to do these weird things, and I have to give another YouTuber credit because she talked about how some of these pretty boy Asians, these Asian pretty boys, are dating black women just for sex because they think they're easy, and they're rarely serious about taking them home to grandma because they know grandma will like catch a fit. And it's black women. You've been coming to us talking about how we're coons for bringing Becky home and how we're the bad guys. But how come you're not warning yourselves when you're with these non-black men? You're telling us to watch Get Out and learn from that nigga. And where are you? You think you're winning with the white man? You think you're a loyal pet? And he'll toss your ass out once he's done with you. And these Asian men are following suit. And this is the privilege that you give these Asian men because Asian men can disrespect your blackness, make fun of your own men, and you're just dumb and lottie-dottie. Oh my God, one day GD, G-Dragon, and the boys from BTS, one day they will date us black women. Oh, I can't wait for them. And it's like you're going to be waiting for years. They're not going to date you. Granted, they may have black women in their circles, and they're aware of the black women who like them, but they're not going to date you. They're not going to. And I don't know when you're going to get it into your skull, especially in America, when these motherfuckers ain't looking for you. And black men have been so pro-black. We're the real ones who are woke. We are the real ones who are conscious. We're the real ones being pro-black. You guys want to be pro-black with white men or non-black men, and then and at the same time you're bitching about niggas going with white women, niggas with biracial women or light-skinned women, and I'm like, that's a small fraction. It ain't really popping like that. And I'm really yet to see a black girl who is like, oh, I've been single for 5 years because I'm dark skinned. I've never met anybody like that. I have 800 friends on Facebook. I know a good bit of people plus. And the dark skinned ones, I don't see them bitching and complaining about they don't love that they get no love. So, the thing is that, black men are the ones who are really pro-black. Don't bring your white boy to the movement. Don't bring your K-pop to the movement. I'm tired of black women playing both sides of the fence. And it's getting on my nerves. That's the problem. Because black men have to be so super conservative and we can't bring the bitches home. The Becky's home, which I'm fine with that. I'm not going to bring her home. But why are you bringing Robert home? That's what I'm trying to understand. You getting smitten over, a white boy telling you that you look good or whatever. And then, there's a black boy who tells you the same thing and like you ask him to do better. And black women, they focus too much on the negatives of like black men like Tommy Sotomayor. And you guys support Tommy. Like, no, we haven't. It was black men who clowned Tommy before he was even accepted as a coon, before he was known as Crispy. We've been on his ass. We've been on his ass. You watch his Ether videos. Who the main ones trying to fight him? It's niggas. So I ain't trying to hear no shit about black men ain't loving black women, man. I ain't trying to hear that dumb shit.